Hey guys, it's Magic here. Today we're going to do another story time. This one is more about my loss of faith in the Christian God at the time. As many of you know, I was raised, I keep saying that, but I mean people who actually know me. I was raised Catholic, um, which was interesting. Seemed to be a lot of belief that, there was something wrong with me. And I always kind of struggled to get along with the other people. I popped faith bubbles a little too easily, and I disagreed with a lot of things, and I had a lot of questions that nobody had answers for, and I don't know. But, even though, there were certain concepts of that I didn't completely agree with or understand, or I still believed in it. I believed in God, and I had a lot of faith in God. Um, And I'd pray, and I believed that I could talk to God, and that He'd talk back sometimes, and I felt okay in it. But then, I don't know, I think it was a series of two events. I think one was there was only one person in the church who seemed to have faith in me or believe in me and not being, just evil or something. And so I really cared about them, and they died. And so I was angry at God at that point. But, I still believed in him. And even though, our relationship got a lot more complicated because I was angry, I still believed and everything was okay. What finally made me decide not to believe was actually a dream that I had, which may seem silly, but I have frequent nightmares, and there's a reoccurring person in it. And it's always this is a scary figure. And in that dream, he had told me that, God didn't care about me. I wasn't his child. And that, he wasn't going to stop him from tormenting me, obviously. That he wasn't going to stop him from doing things to me. And I had a couple items of mine that I'd fallen asleep holding in my dream. And he did something to each of them that significantly changed their appearance. I won't get into what that was exactly, but then remember when I woke up, the thing that he'd done to them in the dream to make them look different had happened to them while I was sleeping. And so at that point, I just decided that maybe he was right. I was angry at God, and I'd felt like God had forsaken me. So I was like, you know what, fine. If this is how things are, then I'm just not going to believe in you. And so I kind of went agnostic for a while. I mean, I still believed in a higher power, obviously, because it's hard to just discount that there's things out there, but I also wasn't sure I wanted to call it God. So then I kind of went through this phase of not really knowing what I believed. Eventually, I tried to get back into the Christian faith, but I just couldn't. And now I'm kind of like an odd mix of a bunch of different belief systems because I've kind of taken little pieces here and there out of everything. But I did eventually regain my belief in and faith in the higher power or God or whatever you want to call it. Although I will say that when I talk to Christians about their beliefs about God, I feel like sometimes even the way I did back then, that them and I have very different opinions on who God is. So I don't know if they're this. I know they're technically supposed to be the same person, but sometimes I don't feel like we believe in the same God. But I did regain my faith in that aspect. But that's a story for another time. So until then, go out and spread the love, guys, because love always wins.